I Am Big is about sharing what's working in a big way. Our guest today is a survivor of the Cambodian Genocide. She's on a mission to provide more acknowledgement, awareness, and hope. Let us welcome Dary to the I Am Big Show. Welcome, Dary, to the I Am Big Show. It is beyond a pleasure. It's an honor to have you. You know, when I first met you at the Cambodian Heritage Museum and Memorial, my heart, I cannot even explain to you what a experience it was for me, and I'm so happy that you're here today. I see you chose water as your big drink. Why water?
Water is one of the most crucial thing that we need, just in addition to air and food. And to me, water is really that crucial element, as well as allowing us all to come together and to move forward and to act as a sense of society, a sense of community.
Tell us about your childhood in Cambodia.
It has really been a long time, but yet it seems like yesterday. I actually was born in the capital city in Phnom Penh, the capital city of Cambodia, and I remember a bit as a child the day that chaotic events took place in Cambodia. And not to really make sense of it during the genocide, but to make sense of it a bit later after the genocide, that was the day of coup d'etat when the Khmer Rouge took over Phnom Penh and everywhere else in Cambodia, and that was April 17. And I remember we were supposed to leave where we lived. I lived very close to the market, and we were coming down and to the front of the street, and so many people were also really chaotically trying to find their relatives, trying to bring their belongings, and have no idea where we should be going. But the soldier was just standing there and directing us to go toward the direction that we were told to go toward. And I remember the long journey going to the countryside, and there we were told that's our new destination, our new place to live. The journey took place on foot. The journey itself was long and lack of food, and people were dying, and people were being separated from their loved ones, from their family. And also there were unfortunate aspect of people getting executed right on the side of the street. And that was our journey going to the new place in Prevang. That's where we were situated. And not long that we were told to be living according to our age and our gender. So
How old were you at that time?
According to my mother, I was about 6 years old at that time.
Do you have any memories of your life before that in Cambodia?
Yes, I do.
What were those?
Lots of memory around my father. He always traveled on the Vespa, and it was just amazing that he took me to so many places. I remember going to the theater a lot. Mm-hmm. So that the memory before the genocide was very much, to me, it was very peaceful to a child in that sense, not understanding politically and socially what was happening, and social status for my family as well. So I enjoyed it very much.
1975. One day you just have to leave your home and leave, pretty much. What happened to your family members and your other siblings?
Fortunately, my family were all together that time when we have to leave our home in Phnom Penh. We ended up in Takao very close to Preveng also. And Takao, there were lots of what they call native Cambodians. And native Cambodians were ordinary people living there, mostly the Khmer Rouge families. And newcomers like us, we were called the April 17 people, or simple term is new people. And new people and April 17 people were not privileged to really have adequate food and
the basics.
Yes, and not the shelter were really different for us, more temporarily, and we were also living more so in a situation of work camps. Schooling was very much divided and split up for the younger generation. Like my age, my duty was to go to school and learn how to read Cambodian, read Khmer and write Khmer, and then be able to assist and work in the rice field in the afternoon, and also to.
And you were around six at that time?
Yes, and also to collect animal waste to be utilized as fertilizer for the farming and the agricultural work. And my parents, of course, were separated, living in their own work camps. My parents had the heavier part of manual labor, and my brothers were separated from my sister and so on. Once in a while, I remember we got to see our family. It's just like similar to what you call here, like a homeroom in a high school per se. Once in a while, at the end of the day or before the day starts, you see your family. But instead of the beginning of the day, this is like more so like once per month. And we realized people were disappearing left and right, and the answer was that we received from our neighbors and the new government was that these people had to move to different locations where it's more suitable for producing food and so on. But we would never see them again, but only to find out at the end of the genocide that those people were taken to be killed in the fields or were executed somewhere else or prison.
So many people in front of you, disappeared, and were there any friends who you knew, who you just saw one day and didn't see again?
My neighbors, especially the men, the older men, I began to realize, at the end, near the end of 78, 79, and that time I didn't know, but more so at the end of the genocide, that we didn't have men around. Mostly women were situated then in the town, and my sister unfortunately died immediately about 3 months after we situated in Takao, and that's due to the lack of food, milk.
What's your sister's name?
Oh, I don't know. I have never asked my mother.
We remember your sister today.
Thank you.
We do, and everybody else who obviously, but
I remember more so about burying my sister. Myself.
9 years old at that time.
Younger than that, yes.
Younger than that.
Yes. So the immediate about 6 or so.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So around the same time.
Yes.
Oh.
So we bury her. I remember digging a small area right next to the well. I don't know why we put the baby next to the well, but basically that's when we first situated in the new town.
Do you ever experience any guilt that so many people didn't survive and you did? How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Many people who did not make it, and the question is why. Why you know, what makes me and my family more so and be able to survive, whereas other people who are entitled to the same aspect of survival and being able to make it here to America, which is one of the greatest country in the whole entire world, you know, and so therefore it is my responsibility and you know, as a survivor, to really be able to advocate and to never forget the up to 3.4 million who died during the Cambodian genocide.
No, and it's. How did you come to the U.S.? You okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's again, you know, the question: why were we able to get into the refugee camps situated right at the border of Cambodia, but on the Thai soil? The day that the Vietnamese soldier came into Cambodia, my family, among other, at least 3 to 4 other families, were traveling together, and you could decide that very precise moment to go a little bit more toward the jungle and the mountains, and many soldiers also traveling. Khmer Rouge soldiers started to travel toward that area, so they're being pushed there. And then the Vietnamese soldiers coming from this side keep pushing further and further. So as civilians, like our family and other families, have the choice of going toward the mountains or coming forward, which is such a huge risk. You're going to be caught between the fire. There's on top there's helicopters, and there's on foot there's soldiers firing, you know, toward each other. So luckily there is a what seems to be right now understood as a B-52 you know, ditch created by the bomb 52 at some point in Cambodia. It's a huge ditch, and you can fit maybe 20 to 30 families easily. And I remember we went inside that ditch and we sort of hid while the bullets were flying back and forth. And after it calmed down a little bit, I remember the Vietnamese soldiers crawling to the ditch and with their bayonets and asking, something around looking for the Khmer Rouge soldiers. And my mother, who speaks Vietnamese, she said, "No, we're civilians. We're the civilians. Please don't fire." And I remember they told us to come out from the B-52 ditch and started to move toward this way while they proceeded toward that direction. We came from the refugee camps, settled in the Philippines for 3 months in Batangang, and then we came to California, San Francisco for 2 weeks, and then we came here to Chicago, our destination. So excited. And I remember people in the community and our association was just so helpful in finding an apartment for us. And we grew up, my family grew up in the East Rogers Parks neighborhood, very exciting. And later on we then connected with so many Asian Americans, Asian immigrants that time in the Uptown neighborhood. And then I began to realize, oh my goodness, there's other Cambodian families coming to Chicago to live here. So I enjoy my time growing up here.
Dary, we know you are the executive director of the Cambodian Association of Illinois, and you're doing amazing work.
I'm very happy to be here now and to be able to not forget there's so many people who did not make it. And I'm also happy to be a part of the Cambodian Association that sees, has this very same vision to also bring a sense of healing to the survivors and their generation. The work gets difficult sometimes, but I think it's a wonderful opportunity to also be working alongside with other survivors and with so many great people from the different sectors to bring the awareness of tragedies like ours, and to also ask ourselves the question, coming together to ask ourselves the question, what does it mean for all of us now to be a citizen of our community, a citizen of the U.S., and a citizen of the global sense as well.
Absolutely.
It's also always so amazing to see people come to the museum and the memorial in a space where the dialogue on healing and the dialogue on global peace, democracy and human rights also take place. And the museum and the organization is also a place where survivors comes to receive their assistance in a senior home care, in a drop-in center, youth and children after-school programs, summer camps, civic engagement, citizenship, arts and culture. So it's been wonderful.
I think sitting here in this space with you today, as much as I'm trying to, I can't even imagine. The only thing I can imagine, though, is that we, as citizens of the globe today, it's our responsibility to, and you're doing amazing work, you through the organization, through the Cambodian Association of Illinois, and through the museum and the memorial, you're doing amazing work to not only acknowledge and create awareness, but also support and give hope for a better tomorrow. And the fact that we have the opportunity to do so, which so many people did not get that because of no fault of theirs, we owe it, I think, to every human being who we might not know their names, but each of them mattered, and we owe it to them and to the future to carry forward this message of humanity and hope. So it is beyond a privilege to share this space with you. I have been to the memorial and the museum. It is fantastic in the sense it really brings you close to humanity. And I can just wish the best from our side. Every viewer watching today will connect to your call to action, which is we are part of the whole. And the whole, the globe, the whole scenario, and tragedy, one tragedy might be different than the other tragedy, but hope brings us all together. And the fact that you're doing this, your association in doing this, so many other people are doing this is beautiful in this world. Thank you for sharing that with the I Am Big Show.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Been one of the most human experiences in my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.